So, there's hardly any movies to watch because most of them are just going to streaming, and TV shows are, few and far between that you can watch. So, what's left? You know that. Video games. That's right, video game industry is the only one that survived the pandemic and gave the finger to the Rona because it just kept on going and released massive games in 2020 like Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, and even in 2021 like Hitman 3, Cyber Shadow, The Medium. There's a bunch of those. And even Apple TV got in on the action and released a bunch of, ports and Apple Arcade originals. So here are some of them. Oh yeah, before we begin though, some of these games only work on controller. So if you've got a PS4 or even a PS3 controller lying around, you can use that, or just get one off of, Amazon for like $10 or $15 or something like that. Fun fact, you can also pair your iPhone with your Apple TV to play games that work with Siri remote. So if you want to do that, just bring up the control center on your iPhone like you normally do, like swiping up from the top of the screen, and go all the way to the bottom, and then there you'll see Apple TV icon. So tap on that, and from the top arrow, select your Apple TV and pair with 4-digit code, and then you're set. With that being said, I'm Vamjin from Smartgames Proxy, and here are 8 Apple TV games that are really good from the recent past. Well, I don't know how the recent can be past, because it happened in the past and it has to be recent. Well, the recent is the past. Moving on, let's just begin the list. Okay, this one needs a controller for you to actually play because it's a proper platformer. If you've got already one, just play it. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. It's a puzzle-like adventure game along the lines of, say, Inside or Little Nightmares, so you can just relax on your couch and, not clutch onto your controller, panicking or breaking it, like playing Dark Souls or Celeste or something. So this side-scrolling adventure has gorgeous visuals, light puzzles as it's cinematic and atmospheric as it can get. The music alone just makes you want to vibe. This one is a gem of a game, and the fact that it's free on Apple Arcade is really hard to believe. So do try it out and you might even love it. Okay, that sounds funny, but it's a golf game for people who hate golf, made by people who didn't like it either. So the goal of this game is to, just play golf, but like every other game, it gets harder as you play to a new level. But then every level has a unique mechanical twist on traditional golf. Like say you have to golf in the middle of fireworks and avoid them at the same time. Also, you can play this on your Apple TV remote or your iPhone, so there's no need to use a controller because it's mechanically quite simple. And if you haven't gotten around to playing it, you definitely should. So Shantae is a Metroidvania game. If you didn't know, like games like Hollow Knight or Axiom Verge, it's basically games that are like Castlevania and Super Metroid, where you gain abilities and revisit areas to progress throughout the game, and then you finally beat the boss and finish the game. It's best played with a controller because Apple TV remote just doesn't cut it for a Metroidvania. So you play as a half-genie Shantae who can change into different creatures, gain new powers, and along the way you'll defeat bosses with gorgeous animation like Mega Man, which really pulled me in, and also the tight controls. This one just is a joy to play. It should take you about 10 hours to complete with all the collectibles and backtracking. It was so good that they even ported it to other consoles like PlayStation and even PC. That's a hell of a compliment in my books. This open world indie game is all about movement and momentum. You play as a hunter and you have to shoot talismans in the world, that way you can navigate the world swiftly. It also has no minimap, so you just have to navigate with spirit vision, like Assassin's Creed Eagle Vision, except you use this to find locations of interest and the main objective as well. If that doesn't make you want to play this, I don't know what will. Maybe an easy mode, cause you're a noob? Moving on. This brutal bullet hell shooter is like old NES games with roguelike elements. It's a sequel to Enter the Gungeon, but made for iOS and Apple platforms exclusively, and then they ported it to other platforms as well, because it was that bloody good. Thanks to Apple Arcade, this came to tvOS as well. The catch in this roguelike is that you can change weapons constantly to adapt to the boss at hand, or depending on your playstyle. Be it shotguns, long range, or just dodging around, as it requires constant dodging, almost like a Souls game. It's an easy pick up and play type of game from my experience, so do give it a shot, especially if you like pixel art. It's another dungeon crawler like the Gungeon, Man, I really have a thing for roguelikes, don't I? Inspired by 16-bit classics, but enhanced with randomizing modifiers, making each level unique, Kronos Dungeon has players collecting loot and, fighting side by side in an epic quest against the god. These events are also set in the main Oceanhorn universe, which are also available on tvOS if you haven't played those. Those are like Zelda games, but this one is more like a dungeon crawler roguelike, so if you're into that, this one's definitely for you. And you play as Chronos himself, and I've been addicted to this game for about 20 hours now, and I played a ton of roguelikes, especially Spelunky. Made by Hello Games, the guy who made, No Man's Sky, the infamous one. Trust me, it's nothing like that. This one is a gem of a game, and it's a puzzle adventure game like Stela. But it has progressive skill checks and introduces new mechanics for the Ember, the character that you play, to use so that you can solve puzzles incrementally. An incredibly charming game, if you ask me, that takes about 6 to 7 hours to complete and is perfect for kids and families alike. So you don't have to go nowhere on a weekend. Just spend time playing Campfire. So that's a list of tvOS games that we really enjoyed, and these are not second-rate games that you normally see on the Apple TV store, like Crossy Road or a bunch of other little stuff like that. These are actually, critically praised games that got a lot of praise and were ported to, PC, PS4 and other consoles because they were that good. Anyway, let us know which one's your favorite in the comment section below and like the video if you did. As always, I'm Vangeon's partner is Proxy. Thanks for watching, and if you're new here, subscribe so that you get notified every time we put out a new video like this. Ciao.